Alrighty, so here is a full invention guide. Um, my last one was kind of just to get from 1 to 99, but this one will show in more depth of a guide, you know, what items to assemble, what items are best, where to get them. So, first thing I want to say, bank all your equipped items. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally disassembled something I didn't want to disassemble because I was wearing them. Um, so, first thing you need is come to invent or invention. And it will bring you here. You need 22 mil cash, and you come to this shop, talk to Joe Gatto, and buy an OLX device. If you get the reference from this, you're a beast. Once you have that, that is basically the item that you will use to disassemble shit. So you just use that right on the item. And you didn't see what components I get because I got a whole bunch here to show you guys through making everything. So first we're going to go through what is the best way to get the certain components. So these are the Uber components. You'll be using these to make most of the high level shit. Probably the best option for those is going to God of War's dungeon. That's the easiest way, but if you are prepared and you can kill raid bosses are the absolute best for Uber components. So definitely figure out which one you want to do. God of War's dungeon, basically you disassemble the items you get from there. I should have said that to begin with, for those who might be confused. Corrupt components, and this one compares to the rare components because what I do for my corrupt components and rare components is I go to kill miserable dragons because you can safe spot them, and dragon full helms give, I believe, up to 20,000, maybe a little bit more rare components per, and that's probably the best thing you can get as a drop that gives rare components besides cosmetics, and they give 350k corrupt components per. If you can't get a dragon full helm, just do dragon halberds or dragon daggers, depending on your cash flow. And for lucky components, third age. You got to camp clue scrolls. Most clue items like wizard robes, G, and like God War's rune items, those also compare to lucky components, but you just want to camp clue scrolls until you get a third age piece, and that's how I did it. You know, they're not that rare, and just if you open enough, eventually you get them. Other than that, just do lower tier clue item stuff, camp clues, and then for generic components, you want to do berserker helms, and you can actually buy that shit from the shop. Along with dragon, you can buy from the shop too. If you're an Iron Man, kind of just got to go with what you can get. Probably smith. Go smith some rune plate bodies. And also for Iron Man, I highly recommend doing the Dragon Full Helm for the corrupt components. Dark components, I camp Sire. All bludgeon pieces, including, I believe, bludgeon, give dark components, and Abyssal Dagger gives a decent amount too. That's the best that I can recommend to do because Sire is very easy. You can just blood barrage it. You can go there with friends and just sit there in AFK, or you can solo, obviously. Spiritual components, hands down, wizard rope tops. Even Iron Man can access mage shops, so just you need cash. You will need a lot of cash for spiritual components, so just be prepared to spend a lot of money on that. Organic components, torsal seeds. It's the cheapest way, fastest way, and they're stackable, so you can basically AFK it. Now we're going to get into making the items. You're going to need a lot of money for this part. So basically this shop sells all the schematics to make items. We will go through each one of these and show us making it and what it does. But I already have them all in the bank, so let's go ahead and just bank this. And let's start with garden pie. For garden pies, you'll need the schematic. Let me go ahead and put this stuff away. Alright, for garden pies, you will need the schematic and organic components along with summer pies. This technically is the best food in game because each half heals 20. I believe, yeah, 20. And Iron Man can also access this shop, this Joe Gatto dude, and he sells 10,000 of them. So just use, I believe, yep, just use organic components on the pies and you will make them. You're going to want to do this from level 1 to probably, I believe it's 30 or 35. It might be 35, let me check. Yeah, It's 30. So because the next thing you want to do is enchant the log, but we'll get on that in a second. Alright, the next one up is Overload. For Overload, I don't think it's really worth it from low level people, but if you have the schematic and you have the extra potions, you can make them. You need a aggression pot and 10,000 organic components. Essentially all it is like an aggression pot, I believe a prayer pot, and like super combat pot, and maybe anti-fire thing, and they're all combined in one. So just use that on that and you make an overload. Nice. Alright, for this one, this is the magic bean. It's not really worth unless you don't want the herbal XP for cleaning herbs, or you're too lazy to clean them. Me personally, I clean my herbs because you get more XP, and I believe you still get the pet. So you need a small pouch, 100,000 organic components, and 1 million generic components, and I believe, boom, magic bean. Let's actually show you it in action. Wait. Alright, I think Magic Bean is currently disabled. I've talked to Jimmy about that, but essentially that's what it's supposed to do. You use it on an inventory of grimy herbs and it cleans them all. Now we are going to show you the amethyst ammo. You can actually make bolts and arrows, and they are tier 70, so they're the best bolts in game. You need 100 rune bolts or 100 rune arrows. You need amethyst gems, which can actually get from mining. Is decently common. And you need 100,000 generic components. I grabbed all of it out so I can make a couple of each. Let me do this. There it is. So that's pretty nice. And I think I have the wrong rune arrows. Alright, I do believe I had the wrong rune arrows. Boom. There it is. Tier 70 arrows. They work pretty good. Alright, now this part is very important. Make sure to watch this part and listen carefully. You will need, I believe it is 350k spiritual components. That's these right here. And 50,000 organic components per time you do this. But this is actually the enchanted logs and enchanted bars. The logs give you 575k XP per log you burn, and the bars give, I believe, 375k XP unless you changed it. And these are great ways to get 500 mil XP in some, and they're tradable. So we've got to use, I think it is this on this. No, it's this on this. There it is. Enchanted logs, and then enchanted bars. You need 100 noted magic logs or 100 noted rune bars to do this. And these are actually the way I got to 99 myself, because you can buy Mystic Robe Toss and Torso Seeds from the shop as a normal account and an Iron Man account. So as long as you have cash, you can get 99 invention. Alright, and the next thing we are doing is Enchanted Souls. I believe this is for prayer. You need 100,000 spiritual components and a head of either KBD, Abyssal, or Calvite Queen. And I believe you just do that. And then I believe you just use these on the altar at home. Yep, you get 175k XP per head that you do, so realistically that's some pretty good prayer XP right there. I might do that to 500 mil XP. And the next item we're going to do is Lucky Amulet, which all you need is an Amulet of Fury, Rabbit Foot, and 1.5 mil Lucky Components. Now Lucky Components, you can get this in 2/3 Age items. Any 2/3 Age items. That's all it's ever taken me. So let's use, I believe, yep, right there, Lucky Amulet, and that is the best luck amulet that you can get in game. Alright, now we are going to be doing the Ring of Fortune, which is actually the second best ring you can get for luck in game. Ring of Fortune is 2.5 mil lucky components and an onyx ring, so I believe, boom, Ring of Fortune, nice. Now, for the Luck of Pugs, you actually need the Ring of Fortune, 5 mil lucky components, 500k rare, and 500k uber components, and I believe it's one of these, god damn it. Hold on. That's what I was doing wrong. That is the Ring of Fortune schematic. Luck of the Pugs, shit. If I can click, god damn it, boom. Luck of the Pugs, and that ring is worth about 3 bill, I believe, right now, and it's the best lucky ring in game, so that lucky amulet can get you pretty fucking far. Now, the next ones is the Totem Transmute and the Bludgeon Transmute. This, all you need is either a totem piece or a bludgeon piece, and dark components. You need 25,000 dark components for the totem, and you need let's see here, 100,000 dark components for the bludgeon. Essentially, all this does is change the bludgeon piece to the next one. So let's do this. See, it just switches them throughout. So if you're missing one and you have this, use it. And then the same thing for these. Now, the next one is the Borrow's Transmute, which is pretty simple. You just need corrupt components and Borrow's gloves, and you get random Borrow's pieces. Let's go ahead and just do all these real quick. Just random Borrow's pieces, so it's pretty nice to actually get to use your Borrow's gloves for something, and corrupt components aren't that hard to come by, and you only need 30,000 for it. Now, if you ever played RS3, you will know something of an insta-kill dart, which is essentially sort of what these are. They're disabled at the moment, so they could change to be something else in the future. Essentially, they're just darts that hit very high on shit. And currently, because I don't know if it's ever going to change, you need 25k rare components, 250k corrupt components for it, and 250 dragon darts, and you just make one dart per. Pretty nice. This is actually how I got my Twisted Bow on my Iron Man. Next thing we are going to do is a Crest Transmute, which you need 50,000 rare components, the Transmute, and Crest pieces. And assume you just use the components on the Crest piece. And if you didn't know what the Crest is, if you have all three pieces from the Uber Rare drops, and you just put them all together, use a hammer on it, you get a random amount of donor points. From 1 to 7,500. So 39, well, Paisley 4,000 is not bad. Now, for the next item, we are going to look at the Augmenter, and this is actually a pretty big item for invention once you get to level 80, which level, if you want to do this 99, you can. It's definitely better experience, but it's a little bit more pricey. You need 150,000 Uber components and 100,000 corrupt components. So just assume use this on this. No, there they are. So let's make a couple augmenters, because I'm actually going to show you guys all the items augmented. Let me grab them. Alright, so all you do is use an augmenter on the specific item and click yes. So let's just augment everything. I got the wrong whip. There we go. Yes, Infernal Cave. These are, at the moment, these are the only items you can augment. And they do change. I got the wrong crystal too, damn. Here we go. Augment all this shit. These actually change the stats. When you add it to a rapier, you get +5 strength bonus, tentacle whip plus 15 slash bonus but -10 prayer, crystal bow +10 defense, +10 prayer, twisted bow +10 range, -4 prayer, Kodai Wands +2 mage, -2 magic damage, no, +2 magic damage bonus, and -5 magic defense bonus. Elder Maul is +3 strength, +5 crush, -10 defense. Infernal Cape +2 strength, +1 offensive, -10 defensive, and -2 prayer. Abyssal Whip is +15 defense, and Master Wand is +10 defense. So, like, if I was on my normal account, I would augment my rapier, and I wouldn't have to siphon or anything. It still has that +5, so that's something you always keep in the back of your mind. Now, while you're training with these, you can check your experience. Right now it's at 0 XP level 0. You can get up to about 250k XP at level 6, and that's when you're going to siphon it, and I'll show you siphons in a second. And I think I forgot to say, but for augments, siphons, and dissolvers, the items you need are in the shop for 8.8 mil. And siphons are actually decently cheap to make, since these are more of an item that you're going to use more than once. So you need 100k dark components and 50,000 Uber components. Use that on the metal sheet. Oh, maybe it's less than that. I guess the Forums is actually wrong at the moment. So it's less than that to make a siphon. He probably updated it because people were upset about how much it costs. So essentially you just use that on your item, and it will say how much XP you're going to get. I'm going to get 0 because I haven't trained on the Twisted Bow at all. Just click yes, and it gives you the experience. Now, for the Dissolver, since augmenting a weapon makes it untradeable, you'll need 175k Uber components and 75k rare along with the Dissolver transmute, and use it on a pipe, which also you can get from the shop. Let's see here. And I believe this is a one-time use also. You'll just use this on your augmented weapon. It'll take the augment away and you'll keep your weapon. But if you have the money and you want to get the full experience for dissolving something, or not dissolving, for siphoning or disassembling, just use your LX device on the item, but that item will disappear. So I highly recommend only doing it to whips and master wands, and it'll just get rid of it and give you the full experience from that weapon once it's max level. Now, for the Imbued Eye, which is the best thing you can make and costs the most money, you'll need 500,000 Uber components, 1 million spiritual and ensouled elf head, which is actually in this shop for 13 mil. Just use that on that. Oh, I guess it's a little bit less, but this is essentially the same thing as the Imbued Heart, but it's for range and shit. Not having to use range pots ever again, why not? And now that we are done with showing all that, if you ever don't need your schematic anymore, like let's say you augment a weapon and you're never gonna want to augment another weapon, or you augment all your weapons and you don't need it anymore. If you high alch it, you will get half the cash back for what you paid for it, like the cash from the shop. So if you look at it, and let's just do the fucking Ring of Fortune. If you alch that, you'll get 100 mil cash back. Thank you for watching the video. I will post 2 forum links down below that show the inventions rewards in a list. That way you can see what you actually need, like how many components you need. And this is all made by Jamian, and the Invention Disassembling Guide, which shows you different types of things you can disassemble for that certain component. I was only here to show you the best and probably the best way to get it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave comments.